Shalom, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ravakah HaKodash, double on the apostles, a great millstone to rule well. Peace, love, and blessings to you, brothers on the highways and byways, giving all diligence, making calling and election sure. And blessings to the very few sisters, it's like a few sisters out there listening, learning, and believing. I'm the fellow Kanakla coming at you once again with another lesson, Lord's will, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai's lessons, edifying and exhorting. This is basically a World War III update. And I'm hop right into it. Saturday, what's today? So-called Tuesday. On Saturday, right? This is what took place leading up to it's updating, till today.
U.S. President Donald Trump on Saturday launched military strikes against Yemen's Houthis over the group's attacks against Red Sea shipping. A plume of smoke was seen in video rising in Yemen's capital of Sana'a at the scene of a strike. In a post on Truth Social, Trump warned the Houthis, quote, "Your attacks must stop, starting today. If they don't, hell will rain down upon you like nothing you have ever seen before." Trump also warned Iran, the Houthis' main backer, that it needed to immediately halt support to the group. Trump said if Iran threatened the United States, quote, "America will hold you fully accountable and we won't be nice about it." The unfolding U.S. strikes represent the biggest U.S. military operation in the Middle East since Trump took office in January. At least 9 civilians were killed and 9 injured in the strikes on Sana'a, according to the Houthi-run health ministry. Since November 2023, the Houthis have launched more than 100 attacks targeting shipping, killing at least 4 seafarers, sinking 2 vessels, and seizing another. The Houthis say the attacks were in solidarity with Palestinians over Israel's war with Hamas in Gaza. The Biden administration had sought to degrade the Houthis' ability to attack vessels off its coast, but limited the U.S. actions.
All right, as you can see, this happened Saturday, which led basically to the Houthis retaliating. All right, and whether this is real or fake propaganda, you always take in consideration, that they could just be, setting Iran up. These people could be bought and paid for, basically, to justify, them going to war with Iran. And because, there's sources out there saying that Iran is not backing them, they don't back the Houthis, this, that, and the third. But the point being is that, there's a retaliation going back and forth. And the main target is Iran. All right. Yo, I'm doing a video up here.
Okay.
The main target is Iran. Okay. So whether it's real or fake, these Houthis are actually backed by Iran. Iran's backing them. It's neither here nor there. I'm not going to focus on that. But the point being is that the target is Iran. So I watched a video earlier that the brother Ash forwarded. Then I looked up this treaty here. It says full text of Iran-Russia Comprehensive Strategic Partnership Agreement. Now, this happened right before Donald Trump was inaugurated. Okay, I forget exactly his inauguration date. Either it was before, all right, or, during the time he was being inaugurated. Nonetheless, Donald Trump was already campaigning that, he's, basically saying he's ready to basically neutralize Iran before they become a big threat, aka develop nuclear weapons. The whole propaganda of them enriching uranium, which really they were doing that for energy. But, Netanyahu, all right, he's been over a decade now, has been basically promoting to go to war with Iran. And this whole this Trump administration has been bought and paid for. All right, they're under the control of the so-called Jews. Okay, and the so-called Jews, as I just stated, been the one waging war against Iran for over a decade now. All right, the propaganda of them creating a nuclear missile. So, as we know, according to Bible prophecy, Ezekiel the 38th chapter, matter of fact, we'll get that. Ezekiel 38 verse 1, it says, "The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog," Magog meaning from Gog. Okay, so it's Gog, and that's where Russia, it's talking about the Russians today, or that ancient land of Gog is where Russia dwells today. All right, modern day Russia. It says, "The land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal." All right, so the Lord, these Edomites too, the Lord is against them too. But the Heavenly Father is going to use his Russians to basically to lead the charge in the destruction of Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, it says, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth." So basically that former USSR spirit, okay, coming up against America. That's why you had the Cold War, okay? So this is basically the Cold War 2.0, and we're closer than we've ever been to nuclear war with Russia today, all right? It says, "In all thy army horsemen," it's like, "in all thine army horses and horsemen," and that's, ancient, terminology for the modern day military equipment, far as vehicles, military vehicles, to tanks, to planes, to battleships, helicopters, all that, you name it. All right, all thy army horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. Okay, see that? So this is ancient world type of terminology. All right, but here it is. The prophets are here today to break these things down to you. It says, "Even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords." So all of them handling weapons. Persia, which if you do the research, that was Iran's name, Persia. All right, just a quick search, it'll pop up. So Persia, which is the focus point of this lesson, Ethiopia and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmets. Gomor and all his bands, the house of Togomor and of the north quarters of Turkey. All right, it says, and his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Okay, so that whole military coalition that Russia has formed with all these nations, all right, and and many people with thee, because right now you got Russia, Iran, and China doing military drills, preparing. All right, why you think this agreement was made? As the prophecy just said, "Be thou a guard unto them." So Persia is Iran, Russia, according to biblical prophecy, going to be allied with Russia, and they're going to be a guard unto them. So we'll just read a little bit of this agreement. Now, once again, this is right during the time before Trump got into office, because they already knew that Iran was on a hit list. All right, it says, "The Islamic Republic of Iran and Russian Federation, hereinafter referred to as the contracting parties, expressing interest in bringing friendly interstate relations to a new level and giving them a comprehensive long-term and strategic character, as well as strengthening their legal foundations. Convinced that development of comprehensive strategic partnership serves the core interests of the Russian Federation and the Islamic Republic of Iran." Okay, because they already knew what was going to happen. All right. certain information out there. Say 2025, the year of war with Iran. Okay, so you see the little back and forth with the proxies, the Houthis, and then you just see Trump just continue to basically bring Iran into the mix, because that's what the Israelis, that's what they want. Okay, and they need America to help them. They can't go to war with Iran by themselves. They'll get obliterated. But only this time, as you can see, these agreements, according to according to biblical prophecy, that Russia was going to be a guard onto them, all right, and form this military coalition against, all right, the small hatters, these Americans. It says, relying on deep historical ties between the Iran and Russian people, proximity of their cultures and spiritual and moral values, it's like a commonality of interests, strong ties of good neighborliness, and abroad opportunities for cooperation in political, economic, and military, key, cultural, and humanitarian, scientific, technical, and other fields. All right, taking into the account the need for further strengthening cooperation in the interest of peace and security at the regional and global levels. So you can see they locked in, okay? And once again, this was 2025, right at the beginning of the year, when Trump was getting ready to come into office. So you see it here, and this is a pretty lengthy article, but all you need to know is that, you know, these agreements have been made, you know, the comprehensive strategic partnership agreement. So you basically, this is going to be the end of America, as we know. Jeremiah, because it's not Trump. Trust me, Trump don't want to go to war with Iran. He's being controlled by those small hats, man. Let's get it real fast. So here it is. The agreement. You see, they already made the agreement. Okay. Jeremiah 50 verse 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Babylon. Talking about America. And his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved by the missiles, and the cry is heard among the nations. And who else spoke rhyme with that same thing? The prophet John, Revelation 18 verse. Let's get to the point. It's lucky. Let me get to the point here. I'll read the top verse and we'll jump down. Revelation 18:1, KJV to the right. It says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having a great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great is fallen. So remember, the prophet Jeremiah said, at the noise of thy falling. That noise, that explosion, man. The nuclear missiles. It says, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird, which is why precept is upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, because the prophet Isaiah also spoke about the aftermath and basically what will dwell in Babylon the Great once the fire, all right, goes down. The everlasting fire burns out, okay, and everlasting, meaning for a long period of time, okay. And after that, it's going to be a desert, and only thing going to be left here on the soils of America are desert creatures. This for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. And that's these nations drinking after the philosophies and the ways of America. All right, dealing with their U.S. dollar, the democracy, so on and so forth. All right, the influence in its American practices, the other nations have basically adopted those things. Okay? And the merchants wax rich with her. All right? And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." Okay? And this literally is going to happen. We're going to be called out of Babylon the Great. While the plagues, the last plague, all right, because there's going to be a serious amount of plagues. But the last plague is the nuclear missiles, that fire. It says, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquity." So America's about to be judged, and we're right at the door of it, because they're about to enter into this third world war and be dragged into war with Iran, and Russia is not going to have it. And then all Russia's allies, Russia, China, all right, which is another major nuclear nuclear missile holder. Got India, okay, then even America's own allies, all right, they're going to come up against and shoot missiles upon it. It says, "Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled unto her double. How she glorified herself, and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow." Verse 8, "Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judges her." All right, the Lord God who judges her is mighty. It's in NLT. All right. Verse 9 and 10, it says, "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her." So that's that lamenting. All right, the noise of her fall, that lamenting. The kings of the earth, the merchants watching her burn up. It says, "shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment." And this is when the Most High and His only begotten Son, their names are going to be glorified by the destruction that they're going to bring upon Babylon the Great, aka America. So standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, "Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more." And that was the point what that's what Jeremiah was also talking about. At the noise of her fall, a cry is heard at the noise of her fall. Verse 48, "At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved." All right, that great earthquake also John recorded. "And a cry is heard among the nations." So that burning and that smoke, the missiles pelting and hitting Babylon the Great, aka America, and that cry being heard that morning, as we just read about in Revelation. So this is where we at, and it's only escalating, back and forth, back and forth. It's only a matter of time, before they're at direct war with Iran, and it's no longer a proxy. Okay, they need war. All right, the Israelis, they need war. All the crimes, Netanyahu, the crimes that they've committed. All right, basically the genocide over in Gaza. So they got to keep a war going. Okay, and the so-called Houthis are over there in Gaza, and they're backed by Iran. It's a perfect narrative. Whether it's real or fake, but perfect justification to go to war. Now, the anticipation of something here happening on homeland, all right? Another 911 incident to justify this. But as you can see here, be thou a guard unto them. Full text of Iran-Russia Comprehensive Strategic Partnership Agreement. So this is Bible prophecy just playing out. I mean, they already, have said over the past decade that, a attack on Iran would be basically a threat to their national security. Russia and China have stated that. Okay, but here it is, the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership Agreement, which is Bible prophecy. The prophecies are speaking. All right, so, but we know before this takes place, this war takes place, one major prophecy has to come to pass. And that's the mark of the beast, found in Revelation, the 13th chapter, around about the 16th, 17th verse. Okay, because all who take the mark will be consumed by the way of this fire. So with that, Lord, as soon as edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Till the next time, I say shalom.